Hi, coaches. Welcome to part 2 of coaching questions, frequently asked coaching questions, if you will. So, excuse me. I'm back to answer questions 24 through 38 that I did not remember to answer on my series of questions before. So, if you're watching this video, get ready to pick up where we left off, answering questions 1 through 23. And we're going to dive in. Now, there are probably tons of more questions coming that will be added to this video series, but I thank you for watching today. This is the continuation of a live Q&A, frequently asked questions of new life coaches. These are questions that have been submitted by your fellow coaches. So I'm recording this live on Facebook once again because, as you know, my brand new phone has run out of memory from videos that I've shared with you guys. For those of you watching live in the moment on Facebook with me, go ahead and add some new questions in the comments below. I will engage just to make this more fun for you. So we have several questions that have been submitted, just random, frequently asked questions that go to part 2 of this Q&A. So if you're a new coach, welcome. If you're a veteran coach, maybe it's something you haven't thought of. But either way, we're all going to get something out of today. I'm going to do this one video and answer questions 24 through 38, and then come back later when there are new questions and continue the live Q&A video series. Y'all ready? Let's dive in. So, one coach asks, what do you do when business doesn't move? Ooh, that's a good one. So one thing I noticed that life coaches do once they come and get certified, they always get stuck with the question, so AJ, what's next? ... They want to know their next steps right away. And we already have homework after the class. So because you're watching this video series, that means that you probably have successfully completed the one-day life coach certification training with yours truly. You got access to these questions, right? You're a part of a community of coaches and you're ready to dive in. So at the end of our trainings, there is a special assignment. One that sticks out that pertains to this question is we give you homework. And by we, I mean me and my new training company. We give you homework to go out and coach, get practice, show your people in your network, your community, your circle of friends, fans, and followers that you know what you're doing. You just got certified. You just gave yourself permission to be great. Get some more practice in and start to see how your community responds to your coaching before you stop and start to fear failure of a coaching company that has not even had the chance to blossom yet. So my question back to you coaches is, have you practiced what you've learned? Life coaching certification should not be just another certificate you get that it ends up on your wall collecting dust. You never pay attention to it again. It should be something that you glance at on your wall from time to time in your home office and you say, oh yeah, I am a certified life coach. Have I been practicing today, this week, this month? Since I got certified, have I put into action what I have learned before I start to wonder, fear, fret, and procrastinate about a business failing that does not quite exist? So that's my short answer to that. There's no possible way for you to know if your business doesn't move until you get your business moving. And that means that you got to get up, get out, and get coaching, get practicing, get people interested in your business. And then if you get to a point where it's not moving, we can come back and address this issue, okay? So I like to stick with where you are now. Again, you're newly certified, or maybe you're a veteran coach, you're a seasoned coach, you've been coaching, but you're rebranding, you're trying something different, you're adding an additional stream of income. You want to continue your legacy building journey, your impactful journey, your income producing journey of being a certified life coach, right? So it's time to get that practice in. See how the information that you just learned will help you build your business and then continue moving forward. Question 25 says, how do I get notifications about different seminars? I thought this was such a good question that even my Facebook Live community wants to know, right? So if you're like me and you like being around like-minded people, especially coaches, because we are a different breed, okay? I heard one of my coaches say we were born like this, meaning we were born with a heart to serve. We love to give. We love to be educated, be the intelligent one in the room, sharing information, right? We love telling people that we're a coach. We love showing people that we know what we're doing. We love knowing that we have resources like this to refer back to boost our confidence, give us some more momentum and motivation, right? So that also means that there is a community out there somewhere of people just like us who is looking for us. They want us to get involved. And so if you have apps like Eventbrite, that's eventbrite.com. You can go on their website via your web browser, or you can download the Eventbrite app where you get daily notifications on your phone when events of your interest like business, classes, seminars, workshops, talks, symposiums, panels, conferences. Y'all can tell I've done this before, right? Those notifications come to your phone or they can come to your email. So, for example, in my email, maybe about once a week, Eventbrite will tag me on some things based on my interests. You know how like when you go to Amazon and you look for one thing and they say you may also like this and they show you pictures? Eventbrite is the same way. If you've been scrolling some events on Eventbrite, and you maybe even signed up and attended some events on Eventbrite, they're going to say, you know what? It's some other events that matches this category. I just gave you the categories of what they are for me in the business area: conferences, classes, workshops, learning opportunities. So Eventbrite is a great app to start with. It's also a great app for those of us who host events, but that's another talk for another time, okay? Eventbrite is one. Meetup.com is one. They also have an app that you can download to your phone. I'm also interested in who's interested in starting a meetup group for life coaches. I have a really good idea for a meetup group for life coaches that will be virtual and in person live here in Atlanta. If you're interested, make sure you share that feedback with me in my comments, my inbox, or my email, okay? I was reading a really good book that talked about, getting together with like-minded people. And so what a great way to start your own meetup. What a great way to host an event where like-minded people come to you as a newly certified life coach. You're now a resource within your community, online and offline. So that's a thought, new coach, as you build this business brand, okay? So those are two of the main ways that sticks out. Facebook is another way to just pay attention to where your fellow coaches are going. If you follow friends who are coaches, if you're members of Facebook groups who are coaches, if you have attended or shown interest in previous events, there's a way on Facebook that you can scroll. There are hashtags that you can look up on Twitter and Instagram. I don't want to overwhelm you, but there are so many sources out there, so many ways to get notifications about upcoming seminars. That was a specific question about seminars. So tailor the type of seminars that you like. Tell apps like Eventbrite, Meetup, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, based on your interest. Maybe even based on conferences that you've heard about that are coming to your city. Let them know that you want to get these alerts by the hashtags, by the hearts and the likes apps features. Okay, so play around with these different apps that I've listed. There are ways to get notifications right to your phone, right to your inbox, maybe even via a chat box that's saying, hey, I got an event coming to town. Also pay attention to videos like this. I know when I host videos, I come on and I talk about them. Over at bit.ly/2020 speaking tour is all of my event schedules for the year 2020. Now, if you're watching this in the year 2030, those events have passed. Hopefully we have some modern technology that'll help you attend virtually, in person, by hologram maybe. But again, bit.ly/2020 speaking tour is where I personally post all of the events that I'm hosting, that I'm collaborating and partnering with bigger brands with. So pay attention to lives from coaches. Pay attention to lives in community coaching groups on these apps that I've mentioned, like Facebook and things like that. So that's what comes to mind when we answer the questions, how to get specific notifications about different seminars directly aimed and tailored to you. Question 26. And by the way, if you're watching live in the moment via Facebook, put some more questions in here for me to answer. If I'm not exhausted by the question number 38, I will answer those. If not, I promise to come back and do a Facebook Live about it, okay? Here we go. Question 26 says, I got so excited about being a life coach that I didn't ask, how am I going to get my ROI, or return on investment? Coach Trace sent this question in. She is one of our inaugural life coaches with the International Center for Life Coach Training. She said yes at the first class of 2020. And so she got to submit her question for this first series of videos. And she said, AJ, I got so excited talking to you about becoming a certified life coach with you through your training company. I didn't ask, how am I going to get a return on that financial investment? And so here's my question answered to Coach Trace. And I think we talked about this a little bit in class, if I remember correctly, because again, this video series answering these FAQs is after that first training, right? So anything you do is going to be based on your ROI. A return on investment, as I grab a sip of tea, one moment, you get out of anything what you put into it. It goes back to question 24. What do you do when the business doesn't move? Or if you're not out practicing what you've learned, you can't expect the business to move. So the only way I can see a business not moving is if you're not moving, right? Back to ROI. You can't get a return on an investment if you're not implementing what you've learned. You gotta put the information to use. So that's my question on that. One thing I noticed early on in my coaching days, people would call and they would ask, I'm gonna open my door here, y'all. Hold on. They would say, AJ, what's your success rate? And I used to try, excuse me, to answer that question, but I can't. You want to know why? Let me get some more tea before I choke. I can answer the question of success that I've had. I can answer the question of, excuse me, the success I've seen some of our coaches have. I can't answer the question of what your success rate will be. I can't answer the question of what your return on your investment will be, because I can't make you do the work. My job is to, quote unquote, lead a horse to water. I can't make you drink. I'm not calling you a horse. I'm just using a metaphor, okay? So I have the knowledge. I have the information. I have that mantle that kind of anoints you and gives you permission to go out and be great. Implement everything that I've taught you in this one-day life coach certification, but I cannot guarantee you success. That's an unfair expectation to put on another human being, be it a life coach, a trainer, a master life coach trainer like myself. I can't put that on you, and I can't allow that to be put on me. So for example, 7 years ago, and by the time you're watching it, depends on how many years ago this was, you can add some more. But in April of 2013, I was certified as a life coach. Now, I could have been like regular coaches that I've seen come through the trainings. I've certified over 100 coaches at this point, 115 to be exact at the recording of this video. And most of those coaches do not stand out in the coaching industry. And I say most because really only 3 maybe that I can think of right offhand that I've personally certified have took all the information they learned and ran with it. Like they've built websites, they've built business cards, they have built curriculums, they have hosted events, they have started to speak, they have written books, they've been featured in media, and they continue the cycle of getting out, marketing, and getting clients to make a name for themselves in the life coaching community. While I applaud them, I do not put that expectation on any other coach. So you can be like these coaches. One of them includes me. I ran with the information I got in 2013. And here we are in the year 2020, and I'm training other coaches. thanks to opportunities that have opened up, all because I kept myself out there, kept connected and in the loop of what was going on in the industry. People know that I'm a life coach. They know that I'm a master life coach trainer. When I show up and educate, they know we're about to talk business and something to do with coaching and inspiration, empowerment, encouragement, something about entrepreneurship, right? Because that's the brand that I have successfully built. And so I show up and I talk about that brand. Now that's my return on investment. My question back to you, new life coach, is what will be your return on your investment? What are you promising yourself to return unto you? Because I knew when I went through training in 2013, I was going to be successful as a life coach. When my coach says, AJ, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give yourself? In class, I said a 10. I've always been a 10. I just needed a piece of paper to prove to myself. I needed that framed certificate to look on the wall and see Coach AJ Austin. And I remind myself daily, oh yeah, someone's waiting. Let me get out here. So that was my promise to myself. So instead of coming to a training or going to an event or any type of external interaction you have with another human, instead of expecting them to help you be at a certain level or look successful or gain certain notoriety, go within and ask yourself, what am I going to do with this information? Yes, I've invested money. Money is a piece of paper. It's digital these days, so it's numbers on a card, numbers in a bank account. However, once that's depleted, it's out of your hands. Now all you have in exchange is knowledge. And I say that's all you have, but that's all you need. You got to take what you learn, take the expectations that you put on yourself, and keep the promise to yourself that you've made to you as a newly certified life coach. What are you going to do with that information? How are you going to return on that investment to yourself? Because at the end of the day, Coach AJ, your fellow coaches that trained with you, the person who inspired you to come get certified, we're not there with you. What are you going to do to get return on your investment? So while you all start out excited, just like I did, at the end of the day, all I had in my hand were the notes that I took in class, the books that I left class with, a training manual, knowledge. What did I do with it? I'm here today sharing that knowledge with you. So I hope to see you building a brand with what you've learned. Put your own spin on it, a little stank on it, if you will, and return on your own investment versus setting that expectation for someone else. Because if I remember correctly, it's in the Bible saying that when you put your trust in man, he'll let you down every time. And we're all man. So don't let yourself down, okay? There is something in you that could build that brand and give you a very good return on your investment if you allow it. Set your expectations on you. Question number 27. This is becoming one of my most favorite questions to get. You guys have been so supportive of the International Center for Life Coach Training, which is my new online virtual platform where we train and certify life coaches in one day. I have been training and certifying coaches for over 4 years. And again, it depends on when you're watching the recording of this video. If you're live here with me right now in the moment on Facebook Live, it's 4 years. If you're watching this anytime beyond today, it's longer, okay? And so because I have so enjoyed being there to train, I have also learned that coaches need coaches. We need support. We need curriculum. We need resources. We need tips, tools, and tidbits. We need strategies. In other words, you guys say, AJ, please don't leave me. And that's what question number 27 is all about. It says, are you always going to be there for support? So what I love about the one-day life coach certification training happening very soon is that there are opportunities for you to do what we call continuing education or distant learning, meaning you can continue to work with me virtually to help you build your life coaching business. Now, again, because you train with me and you have access to this video, that means that you heard about something called Boss of Me University, right? Boss of Me University, in a nutshell, is my 1-year training for new life coaches to help you build your business to your first or next $25,000. Now, it'll be your first $25,000 as a newly certified life coach. It should be your next $25,000 if you're a veteran coach, a seasoned coach, you got certified through someone else, and you just went through my training to add more to your brand as a coach. So either way, we spend a year together. You get assignments throughout the day or the week, depending on how you want it set up. You click on it, and I start telling you how to build your life coaching business. It's the same way that my first $1 million mentor taught me. She had us do it in 100 days or less. I did it in 2 weeks. I had the plan mapped out, the strategy, and exactly how I was going to make this money. So I'm sharing with you the cheat sheet in Boston University. All the information is over at bit.ly/thebossofme. Again, bit.ly/thebossofme. It breaks down everything you need to know. It has a few testimonials and videos of women who have gone through the program and became successful as coaches. And that's how I show up. I coach, I mentor, I support, and I hold you accountable through my online virtual platforms and support systems like Boss of Me. So head over there, check it out, bit.ly/thebossofme. If you're already a Boss of Me student, hey girl, we're looking forward to a lot of success this year. So make sure you jump in the program with us and start learning and building your coaching business. That's how I show up, and that's how I support. Number 28. We're on question 28 of 38. If you're live here with me via Facebook, if you have any question about life coaching, this is a live life coaching Q&A. I almost can't get it out right. These are frequently asked questions that I get from our new life coaches, those who will be training with me soon. And so I am creating a video series to address those questions. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Drop a question in the comment. I'm going to keep reading the ones that we have as we move on and start to wrap up this Q&A series. Question 28 says, I just know this is my passion, but I'm really lost on how to, in reality, I got to put them in quotes, go get it. That's a good one. So again, because if you're watching this video, you're either building a new brand as a coach or this is totally new to you. And so one thing I know for sure as a master life coach trainer, I get the calls and have the conversations with you that's all centered around what we call fear. You are afraid of who you can be. You are afraid of where you can go. You are afraid of what you can do. You are afraid of your calling. You are afraid that if you really put in the work, implemented the information that you've learned, that this time next year, you won't even recognize who you are and where you are in your life and your business. Think about that for a minute. Excuse me. So, if you know life coaching is your passion, right? Try not to get choked, y'all. Excuse me. Welcome to live streaming. If you say, life coaching is my passion, do you believe it? I want to think about that for a minute. Because when people come to me and say, oh, this is my passion, I know I've been called, God has led me, I prayed about it, He showed me you, I really think this is what I need to do, I'm ready to take a leap of faith, I'm ready to go to my next level, I'm ready to... Is it really your passion? Because passion is cute. You know, it's fun to talk about. I'm so passionate about. But that second part of the question says, but, and I heard that anything that comes after the word but takes away everything that came before the word but. So that's like saying, I know this is my passion, ... and not finishing the sentence. You got to look at this question. I listen through reading and hearing what's not really being said. So it's more like is this my passion? Especially if you have not gotten out into coaching yet. If you say you're a coach, if you've been certified as a coach, if you have been professionally trained, if you consider yourself skilled, if you are qualified as a coach through training, but you haven't gotten out and started coaching. How could you possibly know that this is your passion? The fact that the next word is but, I'm going to skip all that and I'll erase. You told me this was your passion. Now, y'all know me. You spent at least 8 hours with me in the one-day life coach certification training, right? Whether we did it live or virtual. You know I'm going to keep it real. I have to hold your feet to the fire and hold you accountable, because when you say something and then you erase it with the word but, I'm going to just focus on that second part. What you're really saying is, I'm really lost on how to, in reality, go get it. First of all, this is not a question. It says, I just know this is my passion, but I am really lost on how, in reality, to go get it. Go get what? Because you know Coach AJ loves questions. You have to put it in the form of a question. What is the question? So, I scanned these before I went live. And that's the only one that I see that does not end with a question mark. So it's not a question, so I can't answer it. What I would advise is to go back and redefine passion. What makes you think that life coaching is your passion, especially if you're just getting certified and just learning how to do it? What is the reality of you being a life coach? And what does going to get it mean? What are you going to get? So that's the question I leave you with on this non-question. You know who you are. Okay, question 29. And again, live Facebook viewers, if you have questions to add to this list, post them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer those. Question 29 says, I'm a holistic health coach. How will this help me? This goes back to the question about what to do when business doesn't move. It won't move unless you move. It goes back to the question about getting a return on an investment. It will help you if you know what your expectations are going in. If you know what you want to learn going in, because you guys know I'm an open book. So, because I know you've successfully completed the one-day life coach certification training with me in the International Center for Life Coach Training, my brand new online virtual training platform, period. I know I have opened the floor several times for you to ask AJ anything. Please ask. What questions do you have? That's my favorite question to ask for 8 hours as I train you. So in between sessions, in between you practicing in your coaching session, in between you learning, I say, ask me anything. What questions do you have? And so because of that, I'm sure you have written down your expectations as a coach, because one of the questions I ask you is, what are your expectations of today's training? I say by 7:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what do you have high hopes to have achieved by that time, in addition of receiving your life coach certification? So that goes back to knowing what you expect, defining those expectations, writing them down, and really defining what the last not so question put out there, going to get it. I need you to define help. What type of help do you feel like you need? What type of help do you feel like the one-day life coach certification training could potentially provide you? And by now, because you're watching these videos, hopefully you got everything you needed from the training. However, you know how to find me if you have additional questions. You also know how to allow us to keep learning together. Because one thing that I had to check myself on recently, because I'm a knowledge nerd, I will read, I will learn, I will attend events, and I will try to share everything in my brain in 8 hours, and it's impossible. So that's why I'm doing this video series. That's why we have free online training platforms. You can always find me here on Facebook Live. Just look up AJ Austin. I'm somewhere there. My name and handle may have changed on my profile, but I'm here training, because this is information that I cannot fit in an 8-hour training. So I say all of that because I need to know what type of help you need in the first place. So when you say, how can your one-day life coach certification training help me? What type of help do you need? Is it help you make money? Help you reach more people? help you to learn how to build a successful brand, help you become a better version of yourself, help you to make more money, build a better business, become a successful brand, help more people. I think I repeated those. But what type of help do you feel like you need? If you want to know how something will help you, you got to know the type of help that you need. So this goes back to what we've learned in the one-day life coach certification training with the International Center for Life Coach Training, ICLCT, that is. I know I probably asked you something specific about how you're going to use your life coach certification training. Let's start out with the reason you showed up. What type of help were you looking for? Because instantly I'm imagining someone pulling up to a hospital and just saying, help me. Well, if you're not bleeding or you're not bent over in pain, all we can do is look at you and say, how can we put our skills as a doctor to use if we can't feel your pain? If you can't tell us how to help you? The first thing the doctor is going to ask is, well, what is hurting? So Dr. AJ says, what is hurting in your business? What is hurting in your life coaching company? What is hurting within you as a potentially new certified life coach? What type of help do you think you need? And then ask those questions specifically in my inbox or via email or even on my Facebook Lives. It's not too late. Please stay in touch. I love for our coaches to stay in touch with me. Notice how I'm turning these questions back to you, right? Because that means that all of your answers lie within. If I didn't tell you that in training, I'm telling you that now. You know the answer to your question. Even here on Facebook Live, some of these answers may be a little hard to hear, but they're necessary, okay? So I'm sharing them with you from heart to heart, coach to coach, because you know exactly what you need. You just have to reach out and ask specifically. Put it in the form of a question that has a specific outcome, a result that I can guarantee, okay? Number 30 of 38 says, how do I implement it in my health coaching? So again, that goes back to number 1, what did you learn in the one-day life coach certification training? Number 2, what type of help, return on investment, what type of movement do you need in your business? How are you trying to quote unquote go get it? What is your reality? What is your passion that you need to redefine? Combine all the questions that I've answered up to this point and ask yourself, how are you looking to implement life coaching in a health coaching practice? Is it to get your clients to see you in another light, to trust you on a deeper level, to open up the experiences in their hearts, in their minds with you, to go to a deeper level where they are open to the questions that you have for them? So just like I'm asking you questions in response to you asking me questions, is that what you're looking to do with your clients? Are you looking to get them to think deeper, dig deeper, answer more openly? Are you looking to help them become their best self, better versions of themselves based on what you've learned in the one-day life coach certification training? Because again, it's not about me giving you the answers. It's that your answers already lie within. If you know you're a health coach and you know you're passionate about being a health coach and you know you want to keep showing up as a health coach, you also know the answers to how to implement this in your life coaching company. Like they're going to go hand in hand, but I don't have your answers. So let me leave you with this question. How will life coaching help you in health coaching? If I didn't ask you that in class, I'm asking you that now, and I need you to write that out on a piece of paper. How will you use life coaching in your health coaching company now that you've been educated on the life coaching process? What it is not, what your role is in it, and what your next step is. How does life coaching benefit what you're already doing as a health coach? What are the outcomes that you're expecting for your clients with you being a newly certified life coach in addition to what you already have going on in your life and or business? Question mark? ... Cool. 31. How equipped will I be to life coach after receiving this certification? I'm not sure if y'all hear it, but because my background is in messaging, I have written a book called Messaging Magic. I can tell how out of 38 questions, it's really about 5 questions that all of these questions branch out on. So notice how these are all dealing with fear. What if? When? Can I? How? What if it doesn't? What about? But nothing has been implemented as of yet, right? Because again, if you're watching this recorded series, it's because you successfully completed the 1-day life coach certification training. You have a clear slate. I have asked you nearly 100 times what questions you have, and I have hopefully successfully answered those questions to your satisfaction. And my prayer is that you use the information. You use what has been shared with you up to this point. So, how do you implement what you've learned into your health coaching into your health coaching company? If you are complete, if you feel equipped to be a life coach after receiving this certification, it's completely up to you. Some people, and I have witnessed this, will leave my training and go right into another training. So that's a perfect example. Now, see, I attend other life coach certification trainings just to see what's going on in the industry, to be nosy, to take notes on stuff I like, and to add a little stank on you to the stuff that I don't like write a book that really educates you on what you're lacking and missing in these other trainings that you go to. Sips tea, okay? So I did that recently here in Atlanta. Attended an event that supposedly certified life coaches, but had no type of life coach training. And come to find out, the leader of this training had not been certified as a life coach. So how an uncertified life coach can certify life coaches, I have no idea. That's not my business. I was there to just study the market. I go to lunch, and 2 of the coaches that I had just trained in my 1-day life coach certification training were there. And they said, AJ, kind of like they got caught cheating or in the headlights. And I'm like, no worries, we're learning. They said, well, one thing you don't have to worry about is your class covered it all. This is nothing in comparison to what you taught. Basically, I don't even know why I'm here. Really, why they and I were there is because if you were already a certified coach and could prove it, you got a discount on the class. So they took advantage of that discount, just like I advise you guys to. Like anytime I offer a sale on my products or services, take it. Get it while you can, put it in your back pocket, and then use the information. One thing I advise against, though, is you continuing to learn and learn and learn. That's just like you going to different restaurants. Let's say you're hungry one day and you start out with pizza, then you go get Chinese food, then you go get pasta, then you get ice cream, then you get a burger. Then you say, I'm feeling like sushi. What about a little soul food? Okay, now let me go get some Thai food. And then at the end of the day, that happened in a day. You wonder why you got a headache, you're vomiting, you're feeling bloated, you're sleepy. You're just not okay. That's because you've been doing what we call in church, eating at everybody's table. That means you can't go from place to place to place and learn from person to person to person, especially when you're new in the industry, because you're going to get confused. Because life coaching is so new, it's unregulated. Everyone is sharing their thoughts, their opinions, and their theories, including colleges and universities. So colleges and universities educate you on the theory of life coach, what people think about where the life coaching industry came from, where it's going, what it could potentially lead to. Certifications and trainings usually educate you on how to get the practice and the skill of life coaching under your belt, learning how to become a life coach. Then there are other programs that will give you more of best practices, like people who set certain guidelines or standards in the coaching industry. They'll tell you maybe like the business practices, the ethical practices, how to be a coach with integrity. They'll show you how you should be functioning in the coaching industry. So all of these things go hand in hand, but you can't learn from too many people at the same time because it will mess your stomach up, your digestive system. You won't be able to digest everything you learn and then go out and do it the way you want to do it as a coach. So I say, take one class at a time. Don't run to everyone's training. It's okay to catch a sale, but know where your foundation lies. For example, and this is not to get into religion or politics, I'm a Christian raised in the church, but I can also visit a mosque. I have been to an Indian temple. I don't know if you call it that. Buddhist temple, I don't know, but I went out of curiosity. And I've also been to a Kingdom Hall. Some people believe that some of these are the same principles and they learn the same things. But I know at the end of the day, I'm still a Christian. I know what I believe in the Bible. I know that I go to church. I know that I believe in Jesus Christ. You see how nothing is changing that foundation? So fresh out of my one-day life coach certification training, I advise you to decide what your foundation is going to be. And as you continue to grow as a life coach, get practice, build your business brand as a life coach, don't waver. Don't eat from so many tables or hop from so many conferences and things like that. That's going to change your mindset. Know who you are as a coach. Know where you stand. Stand on the information that you've already learned. Build on that information with your own mind and knowledge, because you came to this training with skills. You came with experience. There's a story that led you to the training. Build on that, add to that, but don't take away from it by eating what everyone else has to offer and letting that mix up your beliefs as who you are as a life coach. Hopefully that answers your question with that. 31 said, nope, we already did 31. 32 of 38. Hopefully y'all are staying on track with me. I could go on and on and on answering these questions. It's a lot of fun for me, okay? 32 says, what else am I getting out of this class besides the certification? This is just a remix to the questions that have been asked before. So let me reiterate my answer. What you get out of the class, other than a certification, is what you put into the class. Did you practice as much as you could? Did you bring your best self? Did you show up as the coach that you're supposed to show up for after the class? Are you putting too much weight on one day, 8 hours? Anything that AJ can teach me is going to last me for 30 years. Or have you set a plan for those expectations of, I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to keep meeting with like-minded people. I'm going to keep getting my practice in as a coach. I'm going to look back over my notes. I'm going to review what we learned in class. I'm going to look back at my handbook. I'm going to reach out to AJ and ask her to clarify this. I'm going to reach out to my fellow coaches and do what we call co-coaching. I'm going to continue to learn and build myself. So what you get out of and after this one-day life coach certification training is what you put into it. Again, Coach AJ is not there for you or with you or at your kitchen table saying, do it, you can do it, keep going, do it. Now, if you reach out and ask me a question, I'm there. However, at the end of the day, it's just you. So what you get out of it is what you put into it. I can't hold your hand, but I can point you in the direction to go. Coach 33. That's what we're going to call you for question 33. It says, do you tell us how to make our first $25,000 during the class? The answer is no. The one-day life coach certification training is simply that, to certify you in a training. And I call it a training because I am a master trainer. I have my degree in training and development. I have trained and certified over 115 coaches at the recording of this video. We got 116 registered for an upcoming training. So it'll be a lot more than that by the time you watch the recording of this video. All we talk about is life coaching, the basics of life coaching, the basic foundational principles of life coaching 101, returning to the basics. So it's like, what is life coaching? What do you get out of life coaching? What are the benefits of life coaching for you and your coaching clients? We talk a little bit of marketing, we talk a little bit of business, but we do not get specific for how to build the first $25,000. Now, if you listened to the previous questions I just answered, your key to your first $25,000 is at Boss of Me University. It's over at bit.ly/the Boss of Me. Again, bit.ly/the Boss of Me. That is the key to unlock the door to your first or next $25,000. So we do not dig into that in the class. Please don't come with that expectation. This is not that class, okay? All right. 34 says, do you go over any business strategies on how to get life coaching clients? So one thing I do very creatively, and by the recording of this video, you should probably have your hands on the Life Coach Revisited, the e-audio program and transcript. And in it, I show you a breakdown. If I don't do it in the book, because it's not in print just yet at the recording of this video, I should have done it in class where I showed you 20 steps to take to find your first or next life coaching client online. And these are the steps that I've taken. I wrote a blog post about it. It got a lot of views and likes and feedback. I got some speaking opportunities off of it. And it still rings true today for me in my coaching company. So go back to the 20 ways, the 20 steps, that process, that strategy that I shared with you for how to get life coaching clients. When you get to number 20, rinse and repeat. Go back to number 1 and start all over again. It's a daily process, a weekly grind. It never ends. You got to always have at least one of those things in the works in order for your clients to show up consistently for you in your life and your brand new life coaching company. Hope that helps. Number 35. Any marketing strategies? Fees to charge. Now, one thing I have added, and you should have got a taste of in the new life coach certification training with me, is all things pricing, where the prices come from, what to charge, what the industry standard is, where to start as a new life coach, how to lift and raise those prices when you get more experience and become a seasoned or veteran life coach, especially those of you veterans who have come through the training and you're rebranding. So, did you get what you needed out of that fees and charges piece? If not, reach out to me. Ask me another specific question. Are you talking charging one-on-one? Are you talking group coaching? How are you talking about charging and pricing? You got to know what you're looking for in order to set your fees and prices as a new life coach or a rebranded life coach the right way. So I won't answer about marketing strategies because I think I just covered that in question before this. So I will move to question 36. Do you provide us with information to draw up contracts for clients? I absolutely do. So I just mapped this out. I was reading a book. I got super inspired. It was a book on coaching, written for new coaches. It's called Life Coaching for Dummies. And while they do not give you a sample contract, it gave me ideas of what to tell you to put in your contracts. I know we went over this in class. Go back and look at your notes, look at your handbook, re-listen to the e-audio program if you have to for the life coach. Think back through those marketing strategies as well that I shared with you. But that starts the contract because you're going to talk about things like your fees, your terms, your conditions. And these are all things that you create. I don't give them to you. I don't tell you what to tell your clients. This is your coaching company. I want you to be creative and open your mind. So go back and revisit that activity, get the information that you need, and come back with more questions if you have them. I'm here. I'm going to be straight to the point like Coach AJ is, and we're going to help you work through that. But again, you got to do the work, put the work in, get that return on investment, get those expectations met, show up, get the help that you need for your coaching company. Number 37 of 38, and then we're going to wrap up this video, is can I do group coaching? Do you give tips on that? What do you think I'm going to say right now? I want you to think real quick as I take a sip of tea. How do you think I'm going to answer this question for you? Okay, I'm going to tell you how I'll answer it. Start with one person. I answered this if you watched the first set of videos where you shouldn't stress about group coaching if you haven't had one-on-one coaching practice. Group coaching is a lot more work. It takes a lot more structure and design. And if you don't have that yet as a new life coach, don't stress yourself out about it. Group coaching, what I found, is best if you have one area of interest. For example, life coaching, certifying life coaches, training and certifying life coaches. You see how everyone in that group of coaches would have that one common interest. Their main goal is to become certified as life coaches. So what you just went through at the recording of this video is a one-day group life coach certification training. That's because that's how I prefer to coach. I want to say things one time. I want them on platforms like this where it records and 1 million people could listen to me at any time and get the same information. And I just said it one time. That's the beauty of group coaching. It's also the beauty of recording those group coaching sessions. But if you're not ready, start with one. Now, if you have a group of people with one common interest so that you're not all over the place trying to help people do different things. Like, again, notice I said we talk a little about marketing. Someone else asked about business. Everybody wants to know about becoming a certified life coach. Everyone wants to know how to be a life coach. So group coaching can have some subcategories sprinkled in, but they need to have one main interest. Just like everyone is one main interest of becoming a certified life coach, marketing and business is sprinkled in there. We don't spend a lot of time on it because everyone in this group coaching scenario came to me for one day life coach certification training, and that's what I give them. And then if they want to move on to another group coaching, like Boss of Me University, where everyone's main focus is to grow their business to their first $25,000. That's all we're talking about, is how you're growing your business to your first $25,000 based on the plan of action, the strategy that you're writing out. So know what group coaching is, rethink your coaching model. I knew coming in, I knew after my very first client that I did not want to do one-on-one sessions. I knew I wanted to do group coaching. So I had to figure out the way to do group coaching, and I've done a great job at that. But if you're new, you're not sure, I advise you to get experience with all modes and modalities of delivering one-on-one coaching. For example, in person, by phone, by video. Are you going to do it by book, by handbook, by workbook, by audio? How are you going to deliver your coaching methods? Again, don't let this stress you out. You may not be ready for it. Focus on one-on-one coaching. Get that down pat to where you're comfortable asking questions, helping your clients grow, helping them get results. And then look for more than one person, like 2 people who want to get those same results you've just successfully helped a small group of clients get, but one by one on a one-on-one coaching basis. That's my answer to question 37. That's my tip on that. Question 38. Do you follow up with us after certification? This is one of my favorite questions out of all the questions because it goes back to that support. Of course, I follow up with you. Now, I have to be honest. I have certified successfully 115 life coaches around the world. We have coaches in Vietnam, soon to be Kenya, Australia, Malaysia, the Grand Cayman Islands, East Africa, all of the northern United States pretty much as well. It may take me a minute to get back around to follow up with you, but if I could reach right behind my desk at the moment of this recording, and this will go away soon, but this is the stack of coaching forms from coaches that I have successfully certified. If I turn too hard, they will fall to the ground. That's also the stack of 115 coaches I'm reaching out to. These coaches were certified years ago. They hear from me at least once a year, maybe every 6 months if I'm in the mood to just call 115 people. And now you're on that list. So the answer is yes. I follow up with you after certification. Most of the time it's going to be via email, maybe through our private Facebook group, and just, occasionally a random live stream where I want to see where you are now. What are you doing with the information? How are you implementing it to grow your life coaching company? So when I do reach out, just know that I have questions for you. Be ready to answer those questions honestly and let me know what additional help and support you need. And I'm here for you. My goal as your master life coach trainer is to be that question answerer. At some point though, the script is going to flip. I'm going to have questions for you. And you got to be ready to answer those, again, honestly, about how you're using the information that I shared with you in this one-day life coach certification training, how you're using this video series, how you're adding to the conversation about growing your coaching company successfully, because I am not the end all be all. And I'm sure we addressed that in class. If not, I'm telling you now. Keep learning, keep training, keep adding to the conversation. Put your own knowledge. What was your experience like becoming certified in one day? What are your comments? What is your feedback to add to the coaching industry as a whole? How can you use that one-day life coach certification, what you learned, the coaching experience you got, the questions you were able to ask and get answered? What will you do to add more value, help your clients get better results in your life coaching company? I'll leave you with that question. Thank you for joining us for this series. It's been a blast to record. As I mentioned, there will be more questions added. I just got to remember where I left off. So if I lost count somewhere, please forgive me. But hopefully you got all of your questions answered. I so look forward to what's coming next for you as a newly certified life coach. And until we meet again, my friends, remember, there's someone somewhere. They're waiting on you to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs. Because when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. I am your master life coach trainer, Andrika J. Austin. It's been a pleasure to serve you. Have a phenomenal day. We'll see you soon. God bless. Bye, friends.